Hi, welcome to a special edition of the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Cal Anderson, one of the rotating hosts, and today we have an information program about ticks and Lyme disease. I have some special guests today, Andreas Glimenakis and his mother, Holly. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Holly and Andreas come from Leominster in Worcester County, but there's some important things that they're talking about which have relation right here in Lynn, in our area. Tell us, Andreas, about where you're going to school and what your mission is.
I'm going to school at St. Leo's in Leominster, and my mission is to raise money for people with Lyme who can't afford the treatment and testing.
Now, in talking about the show before we went on air, we found out that a lot of times insurance doesn't cover the diagnosis for Lyme disease.
No, they don't.
And there's so many symptoms which are actually similar to other ailments. It's hard for doctors to diagnose without this test.
Yeah.
And so how did your journey start? Did you have symptoms and you went to your mother?
Yeah, I had some symptoms. I mean, some where my stomach was hurting, I had headaches, my legs were tired, my feet really hurt, and that's why I didn't play a lot of sports.
Well, then there were a few, I guess, misdiagnoses. Is that right, Holly?
There were a few. In the beginning, the symptoms were very vague. It was very hard to think that anything really was going on that was not just an average childhood virus or issue. But eventually, Andreas developed Tourette's-like symptoms. And we went to the doctor, and the doctor thought it was just a passing thing. I didn't feel right with that. I requested to see a pediatric neurologist, and that neurologist actually diagnosed him with Tourette's. In the meantime, I was going to a naturopath to try to get him some natural things to help calm his body down. And she was the one that said, I think you should test him for tick-borne illness. And sure enough, that's what it was. And as soon as we started treatment, not with anti-ticking medicine, but just antibiotics, the movements in his body calmed right down. It was definitely due to the tick-borne illness, not Tourette's.
Now, I understand this isn't just one blood test, it's a virtual battery of tests to rule out other tick-borne illnesses as well. Is that right?
That is correct. The ticks don't carry just Lyme disease. They carry many different diseases. Andreas, you were diagnosed with how many?
I'd say about like 7.
7 diseases, yes. And when they drew your blood, it was about 8 vials?
Yeah.
About 8 vials of blood. And it takes about 3 weeks to get that very specific test done. And that test is not covered by insurance. And it's the real accurate one, the one that will give you answers. And Andreas, you remember how much those tests cost?
Like $1,200. Mm-hmm.
That's for the battery of tests
Correct.
to rule out and finds a real diagnosis to pursue with a treatment.
Correct.
Now, this is nice lead right into your mission. Tell us about the Lyme Aid Stand.
So I just thought I wanted to start a charity to help people with Lyme and who can't afford the treatment or testing. And the things I did to raise awareness and money. So the thing I did for money first was I made bracelets.
Yep, like this one here.
Yes.
So with a donation, somebody can get this and wear it proudly and reminded every day about Andreas's Lyme Aid Stand.
Yes.
Yeah. Are there any fundraising events? I've been hearing about taking a bite out of Lyme. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
So taking a bite out of Lyme is kind of like the ice bucket challenge, except
it gets
biting
a lot of press because
Lyme.
it gets people talking about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because you did this first in your school, and I understand it's taken on its own dynamic, and now it's community-oriented in Leominster and beyond into Worcester County.
Yes. So my whole entire school took a bite out of Lyme for me, and
that's like taking a wedge and biting down on it.
Yes.
All right.
And even the mayor of Leominster came to do it with me.
Yes. Dean Mazzarella.
Yes.
I think I met him once. So I understand you have an event coming up.
Yes.
October 15th.
Yes.
Which is next week.
Yeah, it's a rail trail ride. You can ride your bike, skateboard, or scooter. It costs $5 to do it, and when you're there, you can either buy a bracelet or a t-shirt. And it's just to raise awareness by if you have something wearing it, and people might be able to see it and look me up on
Well,
Facebook.
this is becoming so successful. I just was talking to your mother, and she says you're starting the process to become a true nonprofit organization, and that's
Yeah.
important.
Yes, we are. Andreas has found that there is quite the need for this. Do you want to share how many families you've helped so far?
4.
4 families that you, through your fundraising efforts, have been able to pay for the tests to rule out or confirm tick-borne illnesses in these children, right?
Yeah.
And all 4 of those families have been diagnosed with tick-borne illness.
Yeah.
And they are in treatment now and getting better because of Andreas. They wouldn't have been able to afford those tests if it wasn't for him.
Well, the best way to prevent is through education and knowledge. Now, I know in Lynn particularly, we are blessed with Lynn Woods, and very close, where it meets 3 cities, is Spring Pond Woods and Reservation. And I know for a fact that where there's deer, there are ticks.
Yeah.
So what do? You come in and you look for your ticks. If you do have them, you take them out with that. Are there other things you can put on? You were talking about non-DEET, non-DEET, more natural repellents?
Yes, Andreas always tells his friends when they come over, you need to spray, absolutely, right? And there are many natural options. You do not have to go the DEET route if you're worried about your children or yourself or your pets. There's many, many natural options that will work. Andreas has some other tips too that he likes to use.
Yeah, so the way to avoid it, don't go into leaf piles, no jumping into them. I know it.
Oh boy, that was a right of our childhood when I was growing up.
Yeah,
but now
I
you're not
did it
supposed
before.
to do that.
Yeah, I did it before, and that's probably when I got bit. So if you do, don't, because ticks love to be in leaves. It's their favorite spot to be in. And after you come in from outside, you should roll yourself with a lint roller, because if the tick is on you but not bit you yet, it would just pick it right up.
So there is some time before the tick embeds.
Yes.
I know they go in at that clockwise method, so you have to bring them out counterclockwise.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And Andreas has a method for that as well.
This is something I learned just today.
So this you use to put on a tick and then
It's
twist
beyond a tweezer. It's made specific to get to the tick,
Yes.
separate it from the skin, and then twist it
Yeah, so
counterclockwise to
yeah,
bring it up.
but when you twist it, you pull it gently, not hard, because
Right.
then it would just, the head would just stay in your skin and keep biting you.
And that's the important part, is getting the tick out intact, because if part of it's left inside, that is where some of the
Bacteria.
bacteria
Yeah.
stays in the body.
That's right.
Yep.
Right. Well, this sounds very good. I'm glad you came on the show today. Important thing to come away with is that it's fall, and even though spring and summer are the times you really think about ticks, they're around till even after frost.
Oh, they're around actually all winter as well. They're not as lively, but a good warm winter day, they will be out. We like to say if there's snow cover, you're probably safe because they're under the snow.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if once the grass starts to show through,
They're hungry.
They're
Just like
hungry.
everybody else, or anybody else.
Especially in fall, because in fall is when they all start to hatch.
All right. Well, you've opened up just the beginning of the knowledge that we hope everybody is going to start taking home from this. So we encourage people to do more Lyme and tick research on your own. Check in with Andreas Lyme Aid Stand Facebook page, and just be aware. And
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. This is very enlightening.
Thank you for having
me.
I just want to add a other little personal touch to this. Not only is Andreas my guest today, he's also my great nephew. So Holly's my niece, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you're my heroes. I'm going to let you take the show home.
okay. Until next time, in every way and every day, keep loving Lynn. Thanks for helping us take a bite out of Lyme.